It makes me kind of bummed because I do want to have communication with my fans, and I used to be extremely personal one-on-one, but I find that lately it's just become really heavy. I think people expect a lot more of me and want me to do more, but the truth is I have to take care of myself and take care of my mind, the things that I'm reading and listening to. But I knew that hopefully this would be a body of work that people can relate to and walk through life with. Nolan, I guess his producing name is Sir Nolan. He and I have had a relationship since I started working on Revival. And he had this idea and he presented it to me, and I thought it was so beautiful. He's like, "This is your message." Because I think anyone who knows me knows that I have such a heart for people, and all I want to do is encourage people and make people feel normal, make people know that it's not, always gonna be okay, but that's all right, we'll all get through this because life's not gonna be perfect. And I am very vulnerable with my fans. And that's where it started. That was over 4 years ago. So it was a very long time because we weren't sure what the album was even going to sound like, what it was going to be. But I knew that this was the starting point. So I actually made that the reference for the rest of the 4 years. Baby, you've been so distant from me lately. And lately, don't even want to call you baby. The first verse is a point of exhaustion, I think. It's more like I can't keep being in this repetitive state where it's like there's nothing happening. So I don't even want to address this as a situation because it's so unhealthy. You've been so distant from me lately. I think it's a gradual process in any sort of relationship, whether it's a friendship or work relationship. There's moments where it's just run its course. Saw us getting older, burning toast in the toaster. Everybody loves this line. It's so funny. I think it basically represents mundane. It represents the lack of care that's around you and for the things that you love and care about. It's really sad. I for sure felt like people have been in that position before. Everybody's just dropped the ball, and nobody's really in this. But I did get a real toaster from Madison, and on the inside of it, there was these plates, and I could put toast in it, and one would come out with the picture, or with the face of my face on it, and then the other one said rare. It's a real thing. I have it in my house right now. My ambitions were too high. Waiting up for you upstairs while you act like I'm not there. Baby, right now it feels like I'm waiting for you upstairs. It's kind of like I'm right here. And I'm not saying I'm better or worse, but I need someone to be right here with me. You don't care. Why don't you recognize that I'm so rare? Always there. You don't do the same for me. That's not fair. I don't have it all, and I'm not claiming to, but I know that I'm special. And I'll bet there's somebody else out there to tell me I'm rare, to make me feel rare. So here's something I've struggled with for a really long time. First off, self-esteem and confidence is a constant struggle for me. It's getting better with time and age, but it will always be something that I'm working on. And I've never been, I think recently this is the most I've ever been vocal about. Actually, I deserve this, and I have a right to claim this, and I have a right to put out things that I want to put out and talk about the things that I want to talk about. So this is the first time that I've actually said it. And the reason why is because I didn't want it to sound I didn't want to sound like a bitch. I didn't want to be like, I deserve everything and you can't have me unless I have this, this, this. And I know that that's not the case. That's just where my mind goes to. So what I think is so important about this course is that it's acknowledging, it's like, hey, I don't have it all. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I do know that I'm special. And I think that is a humble approach of saying, why don't you see that I am different? Baby, don't make me count up all the reasons to stay with you. No reason why you and I are not succeeding. Why am I counting the reasons to be with you? That's probably not a great thing. I'm not gonna beg for you. I'm not gonna let you make me cry. Not getting enough from you. Didn't you know that I'm hard to find? In certain relationships, I've heard and I've experienced and whatnot that it's there's this thing, right? Actually, I think men and women do it, especially teenagers and young people in love, is there's the satisfaction out of hurting someone because you know that they care. Purposefully putting someone down because you want to keep them, at a level. I've had someone actually say that to me before. It's like to keep that person down so they never realize, like, oh, I'm strong enough to actually get out of this situation or feel threatened. And I think that we both do that. There's like, especially, I don't know, especially when you're young, it's like, it's that whole thing where it's like, oh, I'm glad that, you're crying over me and that clearly you still love me and all this stuff. I just think it's a bit manipulative. So this is more of like a complete stance of like, I'm not gonna beg for you. I'm not gonna let you make me cry. I'm not getting enough from you. And you clearly don't realize that I'm hard to find. This isn't the end all be all. I'm still a baby. I got a lot to figure out, but I do know, I believe, some days when I wake up and I'm annoyed and I'm like, I'm gonna be alone forever. But after that 15 minutes goes away, I say to myself, I know that there is someone for everybody.